What is going on, guys? This is the first video of a few I'm actually going to make on trading. And I'm going to make videos about my strategy and about how to trade. But I wanted to start off strong with arguably the most important part of trading: psychology and discipline. Psychology and discipline makes up roughly 80 to 90% of trading. Your psychology is the difference between you losing money or making money. Your psychology is the difference between whether this works out long term or you lose money forever, never, 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 right? Trading has one of the highest percent failure rates. It has about a 99.7% failure rate, which means 0.3 people ever get a payout. That is because mostly psychology, mostly emotions, greed, euphoria, envy, anger, sadness, happiness. Being happy can lose you money just as much as being angry and sad can. Now you might be wondering, how does that make sense? If you're happy and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna make money today, let's do this and this and this. It's not as simple as that. You need to be emotionless when you're doing this. Because happiness leads to euphoria. Euphoria leads to greed. Greed leads to anger. Anger leads to sadness. And it's just a loop that just keeps going. And it's a spiraling downwards loop. So you need to understand that you need to be very emotionless when you're trading. I'm at the point in trading where whenever, like I have a chart right here, you guys can see my screen. Whenever I'm trading, I subconsciously am emotionless. Like I'm looking at this and as I'm recording this video, I don't feel any happiness, I don't feel sadness, I don't feel anger, I feel neutral. And this is the goal, you know what I mean? I still have a lot to work on. But you need to work on your emotions and emotional control. You need to be able to control yourself. You need to be able to know when to trade, when not to trade, when to get off the charts. Days you should not be trading, like news. If there's news, you should not be trading. You're like, oh, I want to make money, don't do this and this. It's going to lead to failure. Right? It's undeniable. It's inevitable. If you cannot control your emotions, this field is going to be very hard to be successful in. That's why I say 80 to 90% of it is psychology. I did not start making money and taking good trades until I became emotionless. Right? It's gonna take time. I don't expect everyone to just, completely shut it out. But I'm saying that you need to get to a point eventually where you can just flip the switch and your emotions turn off. I believe that's something I'm very good at. I already have discipline from jiu-jitsu and wrestling and doing things I don't want to do. But I still believe that the emotional control in here is a lot harder than the emotional control in anything else. Because like I said, greed, euphoria, envy, anger, all of that piles up. And then you try to get revenge on the charts. You know what I mean? Very often people will take a trade and they'll make money. Perfect, amazing. They'll make $500. Right? They'll go to work 8 hours a day and they'll make 200. But they'll press a button and they'll make 500 in 10 minutes and it won't be enough for them. That's where the greed comes in. They'll see that $500 and they're like, oh my gosh, I can do it again. And then I'll do it again. And I'll do it again and again and again. It's not that easy. If you're taking more than 2 trades a day, you're emotional trading. Because there's no way your strategy is coming up more than twice a day. That is why I take 1 trade a day. And if it is a win, I get off. If it is a small loss, I will take 1 more, and win or loss, I'll get off. But even then, if it's a moderate or a big loss, I will get off, and I won't get back on until the next day. You need to understand when to get off and when to not be greedy. If you are greedy, you will lose money. It is inevitable. That is why so many people blow accounts, why they pass evals. 90% of people will never pass an evaluation test. Praise the Lord, I was able to. I'm one of those. It's actually less. It's like 7 or 8%. It's like 92 to 93% of people would never be able to pass an evaluation test. And I was actually able to. And the problem is when people do pass that, is they get caught in euphoria. They get caught in greed. It gets to their head that they can make real money now, and they try to take advantage of that. And yes, take advantage of it. Make your money, but do it smartly. Right? You need to be emotionless. You cannot be greedy. You cannot go in there expecting to make money. Every day when you go on the charts, you need to expect not to trade. That might sound stupid, but it's very true. You need to go on the charts expecting not to trade. Right? Like when I get on the charts, I expect not to trade. I sit there, and what goes through my head is if my strategy forms, I will take it, but I'm not expecting it to. Like, I don't think it's gonna form today. And if it does, it does. Most days it does, because my strategy is pretty consistent. But the point is having that in your head and understanding that our goal is not to take 8 trades a day. Our goal is to take one good trade, and that will eventually add up, compounding interest. But to be able to control yourself from over trading, you need to be able to control your emotions. If you get greedy, you're gonna overtrade. Or if you're upset, you're gonna overtrade. If you're too happy, you're gonna overtrade. If you're too excited, you're gonna overtrade. And overtrading leads to you losing money and getting burned out. And it affects your psychology moving forward. Like if you revenge trade, emotional trade, 8 trades and you lose 7 of them, you just lost 7 trades. Tell me, if you lost 7 trades, would you be able to come back tomorrow with a clear head, ready to trade again? Or would you start doubting yourself and be like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I'm scared to lose money. That's one of the biggest problems. That is why it is so important, not just for losing money, but long-term psychology. Long-term emotions, long-term doubt or belief in yourself. It's very unfortunate seeing people lose money because they cannot control their emotions. They'll have a perfect strategy and it'll work perfectly every day, but they cannot control their emotions and it will lead to destruction. The main takeaways are: understand this is not a get rich quick scheme. You will not make $1 million your first year. Of course, it's possible, anything's possible. Very unlikely. And you're probably not going to make $10,000 in your first month either. You need to keep in mind that this is a long term thing. It's will not happen in a day, it will not happen in a week, it might not happen in a few months even. But it's going to happen. It's 50-50. Either you stay long enough and stay consistent enough to be profitable, or you fail before you're able to become profitable. What do I mean by failing? You quit. Either you quit before you can be profitable, or you stay consistent long enough and you do become profitable. And you're making money, you're making thousands a day, working 20 minutes a day on a computer. You can do this. Whoever you are watching, whether you're a friend, family, whether I don't know you, whether I'll never meet you, you can do this. I say this field has a 99% failure rate. It does. But you're watching this video, and you watching this video tells me that you care enough to put the effort in. You watching this video tells me that you care enough to study, and you care enough to read the charts, and you care enough to to push everything else away, to focus on this. You watching this video tells me that you're putting in the effort. And the effort is the first part of anything worth having in life. Whether that's money, financially, whether that's valuables, whether that's a skill. Anything worth having is going to take effort and time, just like this. Trading is a skill that takes time to learn. If you put in effort, you will eventually get it. It's either you quit before you do, or you stay long enough to do it. There's no in between. There's no, maybe I'll do it. It's either you do or you don't, and at the end of the day, that lies in your hands. Everybody's journey is different. It might take you a couple months, it might take you a couple of years. There's people that have been doing this 10 years and still unprofitable. There's people who have been doing this 6 months and are profitable. It's different for everybody. But I believe the biggest thing still comes down to how much you put in, how much you put out, and your emotional control and discipline. I believe in you. I know you can do this. Now prove to me that I'm not being an idiot by saying that. Prove to me that I'm looking at you in your eyes right now. I'm looking at the camera, but metaphorically I'm looking in your eyes. Prove to me that I'm looking in your eyes and I'm telling you the truth, that you can and you will do this. Because if you fail, what do I lose? I was wrong. If you fail, what do you lose? You lose confidence, you lose money. Everybody who ever doubted you is going to be right. You need to do this for yourself and for your future and for your family and for your friends. I know you can do this. It's a long-term game. I'll say it again. Either you quit before it happens, or you stay long enough and be successful. You can do this. Control your emotions, stay disciplined, and work hard. My name is Christian Lopez. Thank you for watching.